So you want to be a tech, huh? What's going down, everybody? Hope you guys are blessed, man. Here's the introduction video, I guess you could call it, to a series of videos that I want to do. Trying to make a little series out of it. I was originally thinking about making like just one video, and then as I started thinking about it a little bit more and more, I'm like, you know what? I can actually break this down and make a few videos out of this. You know, make it like a short mini series you can binge watch. Um, just kind of talk about a couple of things that you might want to take into consideration prior to becoming a tech, whether it be being a heavy duty technician or being a mechanic, or not really a mechanic but a technician working on people's personal vehicles, or even heavy machinery, you know, whatever the case may be. But you want to get involved in this, there's a couple of things I think you should actually take into consideration. um, One of the main things is that this could be an expensive career, but on the plus side, it could also become a very lucrative career or business, depending on how you look at it, what you want to do. It's all, you know, what you got in your head, what you got in your heart, which route you're actually willing to take. And that's another thing you gotta like sit down before you actually just try to jump in, is try to figure out what you want before you try to get involved in this industry. You know, be real with yourself. Sit down and talk to yourself and figure out exactly which way you want to go. You know, do I want to just be like a hobbyist and kind of learn the craft so I can work on people's vehicles at home just for fun? Because that's one of the things that I'm saying this because one of my wife's cousins actually had come up to me, man. He likes, you know, he likes working on his truck or whatever, right? And he came up to me one day and he's like, man, you know, I want to get a job and I want to see if you can get me in right there where you're working at and this and that. And I was like, look, man, I go, are you sure this is what you want? And he's like, yeah. I was like, all right, because I'm telling you, man, you know, being, I know you like working on your truck and that's all fun, man. It's fun. You get to work on your truck, you get to make it, you know, to a complete transformation and this and that. But it's different doing it as a hobby on your own personal vehicle than doing it as a career or as a business. Doing it every day, even when you don't feel like actually going to work and doing these things, man, it's completely different. Because that can kill. I'm not gonna say if it's your passion to do this all day, every day, go ahead and proceed with it, you know. But if not, you know, if you're doing it just because, like, you know, oh, I want my truck to look like this, so I'm gonna go out here and kind of work on it. But then somebody brings you a clunker that you gotta work on and just pull out an engine, you know what I'm saying? As an example, that it's not a performance vehicle or anything like that, and you're like, I don't want to do that, man. Like, who wants to work on this piece of crap? You know what I'm saying? There's other things you gotta think about, you know. Because when you have to do it on a daily basis, day by day, every day, day in, day out, even the days you don't feel good, it can kill your passion right away, man. It can kill your passion right away. You'll be very upset, you know. So that's number one to keep in mind, you know. Figure out exactly at what level or where your passion is at, you know. Like I said, if you're passionate about it, to be like, man, I want to become a master tech one day. Like in my case, I would love to become a master tech at some point, you know. Follow through with it, man. And to be able to say, you know, I'm gonna, you know, whether they got me doing PMs all day, because PMs, you know, especially for a flat rate, especially flat rate, we don't really like PMs, man. Even hourly rates, our hourly guys that we got right now, they don't really like PMs, man. Periodic maintenance on these heavy duties, they're a drag, man. They're a drag. So, but if you're, like I said, if you're passionate about it, yeah, I'm not gonna say you're gonna love every aspect of it, but you'll be able to be like, nah, it's cool, man. This is just one day. You know what I'm saying? I'll get done today, and then tomorrow I'm on to something completely different. You know. Um, so yeah, try to figure that out. Like I said, where you're at, figure out what you want to do. If you're gonna get started in order to potentially open up your own shop at some point, or if you would be happy, like I'm happy, just working at the dealership. Like I said, scaling up to be a master tech at some point, you know, go ahead and do that, man. But try to figure out before you get involved. Try to figure out where you're at, and try to figure out where you want to go or where you're trying to take it. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll mean a lot. That'll mean a lot. That's gonna give you a lot of direction, man, and that'll put you that much ahead of the game. You know. Uh, Also figure out if you're trying to do just you know, like I said, get into a dealership, or maybe you just want to work at an independent shop or a small mom and pop shop, like we call it. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll be another big thing, man. I mean, there's a lot of people who come off of maybe college or school or whatever, and they automatically think that they're gonna get their foot in a dealership, and it doesn't work that way. Not always, not always. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how the dice are rolled. You know what I'm saying? You gotta play them how they're dealt. Um, And with that being said, I mean, like I said, sometimes it doesn't work that way. So what are you gonna do whenever that happens? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're planning on maybe jumping out of school, going directly into a dealership, and then all of a sudden they're not taking people right now, what happens then? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. You know, like, are you cool just looking for a job at a small independent shop to kind of get your feet wet and just being, you know, trying to build up that resume, some experience to then after that jump to the dealership? You know, because a lot of dealerships, man, a lot of dealerships. I know, like the Peterbilt dealership that's around our city. They really don't take newbies. You know what I'm saying? Like people fresh out of college. I mean, from what I've got understood, I've never tried to get hired on, and obviously I come with experience already. So I mean, I wouldn't even have to ask that question. But from what I got understood, they don't even try to take newbies, man, or people, you know, fresh out of college. You know, they want you to have a year, 2 years, 3 years, you know, in the heavy duty tech world. So that's another thing to think about, man. Because one of those things, like if something like that happens to you, how are you gonna feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Is that gonna kill your passion and be like, man, you know, I didn't get what I wanted, so now I'm out, man. I'm gonna do something else. So you just threw away college, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, so things to think about. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. Once you get in, I mean, what are you gonna be doing? You know, are they gonna put you down as a PM tech, or what's up? You know, you're doing PMs all day every day till it gets boring. You know, a lot of things you gotta think about, man. Like I said, this is just an introduction video, man. I don't want to drag it out too much, but not watch this video, but kind of think about it, man. That's the main thing before you actually even consider it. Is think about it. You know, think about it, about some of the things that I just said. If you want, you know what I'm saying, you don't gotta take my word for it. Do what you want, you know what I'm saying? Ultimately it's your life. But if you want it to go a little bit more smoothly, just try to think about these things, man, because I think it'll help out a lot of people. It'll help out a lot of people to actually sit down and actually be able to think about everything and figure this thing out for themselves. Because once they figure things out for themselves and they're completely 100% honest with them, they'll be able to make the right decision, whether it's the right industry for them. And like light bulb just came on, man. From what I was speaking earlier, something I mentioned earlier that I got to jump back on, is that this could easily be a very expensive career, as it could be a very lucrative career. It could be an expensive career when you're just in it, and all of a sudden you start buying all these tools, all Snap-on tools, Mac tools, Congo tools. You know what I'm saying? They could be quite expensive, man. And it is an expensive career, even if you go completely cheap, like Harbor Freight. I mean, those things add up, man. They add up, you know. Especially being a newbie, you're gonna have to start. People are gonna expect for you to start buying your own tools. You know what I'm saying? So you do need the job in order to start buying your tools. And I don't mean you gotta go spend half your paycheck every week, or you know what I'm saying, or 3/4 of your paycheck every week to go buy tools. You know what I'm saying? You can start accumulating them little by little, you know. But the tally does go up rather quickly. You know, I think just last year I might have spent about, I think I spent like about 6 grand in tools, man. You know, roughly. That's more or less what I'm ballparking right now. I think I probably spent about 6 grand in tools. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I love this career. I love this career, and I'm not buying tools to be able to show them off and put them on display. You know what I'm saying? Showcasing them, stuff like that. They're tools that actually they get used, man, and they get dirty and they get greasy, you know, and they get the job done and they make me money, you know. So that's why I look at it, man. That's the other thing when you get into this, man. How are you gonna look at it, man? Are you gonna look at this as a bottomless pit that you just keep feeding money into, or are you gonna look at it like this is just an investment, man? Because if I use this tool once, I'm gonna use it again, and now it's getting me to get the job done quicker. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things to consider, like I said. And like I said, I mean, it's not just a money consuming industry or career, but it could also be very lucrative, especially when you start going from becoming like a, I'm sorry, looking down at something, but it's when you start going from looking at or becoming a hourly tech to like a flag tech or commission tech or flat rate tech, whatever you want to call it. It can become quite lucrative, man. I mean, just you beat the clock, make sure you get the job done right, but you beat the clock, that's a little bit of extra money that goes into your pocket. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, with that being said, man, I mean, there's a whole lot of things to consider before actually jumping in and just becoming a tech because for the sake of becoming a tech. You know what I'm saying? Um, Also, you know, whenever if you do decide to become a tech, try to see if you can actually get somebody who can mentor you, kind of help you out, guide you. You know, say guide you the right direction, man. You know what I'm saying? Not somebody's gonna tell you, oh man, you know, go buy a big Snap-on box. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need a Snap-on box when you're starting out, man. Go down to Harbor Freight, pick up a roll cart, especially if you've got no tools whatsoever. You don't even need a box. You just need a little roll cart. Pick up a roll cart, start packing that thing up with tools, man. You know, the tools that you actually need, not fancy tools, man. Just tools that you need to get the job done, point A to point B. You know, and then from there you can start thinking about upgrading. So I'm not gonna drag this video out too long, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys on the next one. God bless each and every single one of y'all, man.